Hello, my friends. It's me, Apollonia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming in my bedroom because my studio is way too cold at night. Um, anyways, I wanted to talk about trying to manifest specific things, people, places. I know I've spoken about this before in the past, but most people tend to not go to previous videos, and I wanted to elaborate a little bit more. So, I see this thing in law of attraction all the time. People are trying to manifest specific people, and I highly don't recommend it. I'll admit at one time I did try this on my own like 3 years ago, and that person never came back. And I know there's some people, I don't want to name the specific channel, and there has been many success stories. Like, you can do it, but what I normally see happen is that these people will get together, they'll get back together, exes, and that, and you know, within like a year or less than a year, maybe two maximum, they'll break up again. And it's kind of like, you're normally, one of you has evolved more than the other, or you've evolved in different ways, and you just, you've healed as much as you can with each other, or grown, or maybe you haven't grown at all and they were just, it was a dysfunctional relationship where you, it brought, what basically what it was is, everyone we're attracted to has to do with our childhood caregivers. I do believe in the Oedipus complex. I know Teal Swan has a video on this. I always quote her, but she's a genius. She is like a medical surgeon. I mean, very rare. Anyways, and in a very toxic relationship, which I don't really like to use that word because kids overuse it, but so I can relate to a larger audience. And what I would say from a metaphysical perspective is a relationship where you are with someone who is very similar to your caregiver or how you felt growing up in your home, and you're trying to get a different outcome from it. So for example, like, say you were abused as a kid and you felt miserable and you felt uncomfortable and you felt like you were walking on eggshells and you felt like your voice was never heard. You're most likely going to manifest that same relationship with somebody else. And then when you do, you're hoping you're going to get a different reaction that you didn't get as a child, which all of us need connection. We all need love, no matter how much we don't want to admit it. I mean, if we're a child born in this world, and they've done studies on this where they take, and I'll link it down below, human children, and they'll give them food and change their diapers and give them no comfort and love. And then the second group, they'll only give them love and no food, and the one that survives is the one that was comforted. Same with, they did it with baby monkeys. And so it shows how much we need connection, and we do need comfort. And that's another thing in the spiritual community, is people trying to say that, if you feel that you need connection or that you need to be surrounded by people, then you need to meditate more. Then you need to, just focus on going within, and, there's something wrong with you, man or woman. And that's not true. We need each other. We do. Now, who we need is a different story. We don't want to be like in the first example I gave with, trying to get a different reaction out of with in relationships where people are like our original caregivers. That's not healthy, and as you evolve and become, you heal more, you're not going to attract those kind of people. It always has to do with childhood trauma. Always. And I've heard of this thing in psychology where basically attraction is like, you both have similar traumas or the opposite traumas, and you're trying to create a different reaction, like I said, from what you had in your childhood. And you guys will base those kind of toxic relationships will attach onto each other until they get a different result. But most of the time, because these are not people who are willing to do their own healing, that is never ever going to happen. So when you do your own healing, you will align with people who are actually good for you. And it's funny because somebody could be in your face and be very healthy and have a lot of the attributes that you want, but you won't actually see them unless you've done this healing. Someone who's been raped and molested and lived in the ghetto and even, maybe was raped by their father or their uncle and has low self-esteem is not going to be attracted to the same person that of a girl who, you know, had really good parents who watched over her every move she made and maybe was super protective and gave her, all the money she needed to go to college and a car and gave her emotional support. They're not going to be attracted to the same person. I mean, if that girl were to, get with a guy who were to abuse her, and, these are extreme situations, but I want you guys to get the point, and to abuse her and throw her out of the car and rape her and, call her such names, that she would never be attracted to that kind of guy. So hopefully the first girl who was from the ghetto and was raped and molested and all of that, she does her healing, then she would be attracted to more of the guy that this woman, is, I mean, to the kind of guy, yeah, that this woman is after. So not exactly, I mean, we all have, different sense of humor, and that'll, play into effect, but someone who would be respectful and loving and considerate, and basic things that we all want in healthy relationships. So I would say never ever try to attract a specific person, and it's most likely, here's the thing, and I know Teal talks about this too, and attraction, compatibility will never, just because you're attracted to somebody doesn't mean you're compatible. And it's kind of like, so if you have like an unhealed trauma, an unhealed wound, and you go and you heal that and you're still attracted to that person, right? Because we believe that, we're really attracted to people who have similar wounds or the opposite wounds, or can give us what we need. And if you heal that wound and you're still attracted to them, then they're probably, then I would go for it. They're probably a good match for you. But if you heal it and the attraction's gone, then, it was just that unhealed wound. I'll give you an example. So let's say that there's this, and I know a couple just like this. So, my brother were half and half, and his aunt, so she grew up in a family, just a Hispanic woman, and she was taught she had to work very, very hard. We all want love and acceptance, right? So to get love and acceptance in her household, she had to be very hardworking, how to get really good grades, how to get into college, to be respected and valued and loved. If she wasn't, they would have kicked her out. So she learned that at a young age. So now she's, as an adult, she's very successful, but she's a workaholic, and her value comes from work. She really believes to be accepted and loved, because that's what she grew up with, that she has to work, 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 and be a high achiever. And then, so the guy she married, the complete opposite. So in his house, he kind of grew up in like a trailer park. I think it was like in the South. And is this white guy, and he learned in his family, when he was trying to become successful and make something of himself, that his father would beat him up, and they would tell him, why do you think you what are you doing? You think you're better than us? Like, you're out there and you're trying to become, I think he was trying to become a real estate agent, and you think that you could surpass us and just leave us here, huh? And so the message he got as a kid was, in order to be loved and accepted, which is what we all want, right? Remember the examples of the babies and the monkeys? I have to blend in. I have to be like my parents. I can't be overachieving. I can't be successful. So this man is an absolute bum. I kid you not. This woman, she'll be working on, so she actually does real estate. That's what's funny. Now that I think about it, she does real estate. She does some other things. I'm not really sure business related what they are, but she's always working, always talking about education. And you can tell by her home, she's been very successful. And the guy is always at the bar drinking. So you see what this is? They both disowned, and this is called fragmentation too, according to Swan and in psychology, where you will disown a quality about yourself in order to get love and self-acceptance. So what she learned in her house, right, was, okay, you know what, let me use an example. All right. So this is the part of her where she is lazy, you know, and we all have polarity, right? We can all be lazy, we can all be hardworking, we can all be in the middle, right? We all have polarity. And so she learned, okay, if I'm lazy, if I don't, you know, overachieve, if I don't get good grades, I'm not going to be loved. And that's everything to me. That's survival. That's, you know, uh, everyone needs love and acceptance, especially from their family. So I'm just going to have to disown that I'm lazy. I can't be lazy ever. So it's going to go over here. All right, I have to be hardworking. I have to be super, super hardworking all the time in order to get love. This is me now. This is what I show the world. This still exists somewhere in the back, but it's been disowned. Okay. All right. And this is him. Right? Okay. He's learned if I am super hardworking and I, you know, go into real estate and that, my parents think that I'm better than them and they've disowned me. I can't be better than them and get love at the same time. And I want more than anything to get love and acceptance. Okay. Well, this is just gonna have to go in the window. I can't be hardworking. You know, I'm lazy now. Yep. I have to be a bum on a couch, not do anything to get love and acceptance. So what was this one? This one was, I gotta be super hardworking. And this one was, I gotta be lazy to get love. And then these two, this was him, he disowned being successful and she disowned being lazy at all. So if they were to heal these aspects, then the attraction would most likely not be there. Trust me, it would not be there because I know that man talks crap about his wife at the bar and I know that she talks crap about him. But they're attracted to each other still because they have those unhealed wounds. One has the other. One has the key to the other. So I hope that clarified it. But I had done this with that person a few years ago and the attraction just went away. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was just an unhealed wound. Something similar. So, like I said, don't go for a specific person. In the sites, the people that recommend that, a law of attraction, and as many successful stories as that exists, there are plenty of other stories that people don't want to mention that I've seen other YouTubers, and it's not my business to link that. I wish I could, but you guys, I'm sure, could put law of attraction, attract a soulmate, gone wrong. Put something like that and it'll pop up. And, you know, so just make it about how you want to feel with that person. I know this is such a big topic because we all need people, and with COVID, I think that was a huge eye-opener. How connected we really are to each other. It was a huge domino effect, you know? So, just feel what it would feel like to be with that person. Oh, here's my rose quartz. You know what? I should do a video on this. I don't know why I've never done a video on all my crystals. I got a bunch. But, so yeah, I would, as many success stories as you see, and these people, they believe, oh, if I'm not getting love from this person, they're not calling me, I'm being needy. Oh my gosh, I cannot be needy. I have to visualize and meditate and really believe that they're with me. And now I have to do 75% self-love, and the other 25% has to be visualizing myself with them. And Teal kind of brought this up in a video where if you do a lot of meditation, then you're probably somebody that doesn't want to look at the truth and the reality of not being compatible with somebody, or the reality, whatever you're trying to meditate on, you're trying to imagine that, you know, it's a different reality. And this is good when it comes to money and to jobs, you know, to a degree, but I'm to a degree, I'm going to touch on those subjects too. But when it comes to a person, to me, you really are trying to manipulate, you know, their mind. And I know, like, people have this debate all the time, these channels. Oh, no, everyone has, you know, free will. Some people, you know, they don't have free will, and they go back and forth. And it's like, why, to me, you're not looking, if you broke up, you're not looking at the reality of maybe we're just not compatible. I mean, it's not natural to me that you have to go and meditate like 75% of the time on self-love and then do 25% imagining yourself with this person, you know? Like, when I've been in relationships, I haven't had to do that, you know? And I don't believe it's, oh, I lost my self-love and then that's why they left, because I'm not a needy person. Like, I honestly can go a long time without a relationship. But, you know, so I would not recommend it. And I know a lot of people, these YouTubers are making good money off of it. They made a business off of it. But, you know, what if you spend all that time, all that money, all that meditation on that specific person and they don't come back? I know that hurts. You know, it's not that we have a fear, the fear of it actually happening. It's the fear of the feeling, right? What did, I think it was FDR that said, um, we have nothing to fear but fear itself, paraphrasing. It's the feeling of it that we fear. If you could just become better at feeling that emotion and not resisting it, it will pass. It's not like it's going to sit in your body. This, you know, I'm never getting that person back. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, it'll eventually pass. Time, as cliche as it is, time will heal all wounds. So forget the specific person, okay? Like, if I think I've heard plenty of stories where if you feel that's, you know, you're doing that self-love in that, and then that person comes back, then that's natural. But trying to visualize yourself with that person, that's very unnatural to me. And sometimes we're just passing through to teach each other lessons. And I think a lot of these people that are visualizing, doing their self-love meditations, and then doing their you know, specific person meditations, they don't want to look at the reality of that possibly they're not compatible with this person, or that it's just a false attraction where they need to heal a childhood wound. And to me, it would save a lot of time. You know, I would just do some research. You know, I know a lot of you don't want to play devil's advocate to it because you want that person so badly, but look at the YouTubers who have manifested specific people. There's some that have had kids with them and it didn't go, you know, right. Number two, I would say, you know, really, I said I was going to go on the subject of jobs. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that too, by the way. Once this channel gets bigger, people are going to be like, nah, I don't want to hear that, but too bad. It's the verity. So jobs. So I'll give you an example. I tried to manifest a specific job about 2 years ago, and I did. The first time though, a few months in, I did not get it. And I knew they were very picky. It was just a coffee shop at the time I was in school. And I was like, really? And then eventually when I did manifest it, it was horrible. I know I can't give the name on here, but it's here. They have some in LA. Actually, they have some all around the world. Excuse me. But it was late hours. They did not respect my schedule. They did not respect me. They did not respect any of their workers, really. We did not get breaks like we were supposed to. We were overworked. Even though I was going to school and I gave them my schedule, they totally disrespected my schedule. And then when I didn't show up and I told them, hey, in the interview, I said I could not come Tuesday and Thursday, they let me go. That is the only job where I've ever been let go. And it happened to like 20 people in the same day. But it was like, no, I was a good worker. Like, the people who were still there, they only kept like 2 out of 60 people that they hired. I mean, they're a ridiculous cafe. But, you know, looking back, I should have never have tried to manifest a specific job. Never, ever, ever. Things will just fall into place naturally. And I'll give you guys a few examples. So after I was let go from that job and I panicked for a little bit, I began to feel what it would feel like to make the money I wanted to make and be nearby and be with a good group of people. And it took about 3-4 months. I had to work some in between jobs and I just kept visualizing. And I said, I just want to work one job. I just want to work one job. And, you know, I work one job, make that amount of money so then I don't have to work 2 jobs and kill myself, you know. And visualizing that, it eventually came true. What happened is the place I was working at, they fired one of the people there. So It's bad, but at the same time, it was good for this person because they had been wanting to leave, but they needed that extra push. And I didn't mean for it to happen like that, of course, but it's how it happened. So I got this person's position and I ended up making this money that I wrote down. It was way closer to my house, like a 10-minute drive. And, it was a good job for a year. So that's one example. Also, after, during the pandemic, when I was let go from that job, then I had visualized. Oh, and actually, the wishing machine helped with this too. Um, I had visualized being closer, and I used the wishing machine. And then all of a sudden, this job popped up, and I went and interviewed, and I had worked with this person's son. She was like, "Oh my gosh." She was like, "I looked up that you used to work at this place." And she was like, "You used to work with my son." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "What was his name?" I did not remember. It's bad of me. It was like 4 years ago. And then she was like, "Well, he already gave you a high recommendation, so I don't need to interview you. You seem great, and it seems like you have a good personality, but there's really nothing I need to ask." I always tell the truth in my resume. It'll catch up with you, and I'm glad I've never lied. And it's just not good. It's a small world, and yeah, so I got the job on spot. Um, and I visualized it and I felt it. It's nearby. It's more money than the last job, and I like it. So just feel the general feeling of what it would feel like to manifest. Don't go for a specific place, because also that place was so far. It was like 30 miles away, and I was trying to move back to the area, but then I ended up staying here. I live in LA, and it's way better. It's way more reasonable where I live. I live with a family friend, and it, so I'm comfortable here. I'm close to jobs and the kind of jobs I want. And I'm also, like, once COVID's over, close to, a lot of performing centers because I'm an artist. So yeah. So it's an example of a specific person, a job, money. I mean, so that was another thing. So like a few weeks ago, I just visualized money coming to me. And I was walking through the parking lot, and there was all this money on the ground. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." That was like, I just did a money meditation that morning. I just visualized money dropping on me like rain. And then I was like, so I kind of thought, like, is there like a camera, or I'm like, like, is it a little too good to be true? And I was like, okay, nobody's around. I mean, it's not near like a person, or it was near a lamppost. And I was like, dibs. So I grabbed it, and it paid for most of the doll that I got. I have some collection of some dolls over there. I got like all the Disney princesses. But oh, if you could see them in the back, Mulan, Sleeping Beauty. I don't want to get up. But yeah, I got on one of those dolls, and it paid for most of it. And I was just like, wow. And I visualized having the doll. So just, it was a money meditation. Just visualize money dropping on you. Say, money's coming to me from all different directions all the time. Money is my friend. Money sticks to me like glue. In any meditation or affirmations that work for you. So we covered person, job, money, car. Oh, that's an interesting one. I wouldn't say try and manifest a specific car. Or you can manifest a specific car, but not like, don't imagine like going to the dealership and getting the car. Like, imagine already owning the car. So I'll give you an example. I was so desperate for a car when I was like 19, because it sucked biking everywhere. I was like, any car looks good. I don't give a damn. Any car. And I visualized having this car, and it was a specific car. It was a PT Cruiser. It was a piece of crap. I mean, it broke down everywhere. It needed work on it every month. I only paid $2,000 for it, but still, it was absolutely terrible. And then later engineers told me this is like one of the worst cars you could buy. Everything's so crammed underneath the hood, and just to even do a battery change, you have to take out, I mean, the labor is so expensive because the mechanics have to take out so much. engineers, mechanics, hello. And so I would just visualize feeling what it feels like to have that car, right? So then after that, I got in a Honda Civic 2010, and this lady, she came out of nowhere, this former foster youth and all of that. I didn't really, have family. I don't have family. So, when you're trying to start out on your own, that's really a challenge, and you have absolutely no family. I mean, that's what, law of attraction, they say like universal laws and law of attraction, people are attracted to them. Though those that are really attracted to them are because they did not get these needs met by their parents. Like if you think about it, I've thought about it, and if you have like friends and they have had, their parents have given them everything, money for college, a place to live, a car, all the, plenty of, food, concert tickets, whatever. Do they need to go look for something to be able to get those things? No, because their parents are providing it for them, So it's like, I mean, reality it doesn't really struck for those kind of people until they're out of mom and dad's house, and then it's harder for them. So mine was harder at the beginning of my life. So as a former foster youth, I had I visualized getting a scholarship. Oh, I'll get into that too. Visualized getting a scholarship, but I visualized getting this car, right? This woman came out of nowhere. She helped younger women who didn't have families, who were either neglected or in foster care like me, and get established. And she put a down payment on a car, and it was, like I think she put down like 2 or 3,000, and that got the, wheels rolling, no pun intended. But I was able to build my credit with that car, and then later I scripted. No. I scripted getting my next car, and then this lady approached me, and she was like, you've been in this car for this long, you have a high interest rate, and we could put you in this new car, no down payment. And it actually ended up being a good deal. I kind of freaked out for the moment. After I got it, I was like, oh my God. Like I thought about it during, and then I was like, no, I made the right decision. I'm almost done paying it off too. But point being, visualize yourself either already having the car or do scripting. I'm sure you guys have researched a bunch of different LOA techniques. But point is, like, don't try to not manifest, even if it's like a car, a job, or that. Don't go for a specific one, and don't visualize how it's gonna come about. Just feel the feeling. So let's see. I did specific person. I did job. I did car. Job, car, money. Did I miss anything? Career. No, I don't think so. Oh, weight loss. That is the last one I will touch on. I know I've said this before, but those videos are like so far back that most people are not going to look them up. And I have some new subscribers, so I want y'all to know about it. So weight loss with the law of attraction. I don't think it works. I've done it. I have. When I watched The Secret, I thought, oh my gosh, I could finally eat everything that I want. I could eat all the meat I want. I could eat and now I'm vegetarian, but I can eat all the meat I want. I can eat all the potatoes, sandwiches. I'll just go and get a big fat cheese steak sandwich, Philly cheesesteak sandwich. And I was like, anything. I can eat anything. Pizza. And I could just visualize myself being thin. No, that shit did not work. It did not work at all. Okay, let me tell you, that's like embarrassing to admit now, but I ballooned up. Eventually we'll show pictures, but I think I was like 220 pounds or something. Like I was like a size 18 to 20. And some women are fine with that. Some women are fine, being, what do they call it? No, I don't want to say the wrong thing and then someone get pissed, but some women are fine with that, and that's good for them. Let them do them, but I was not comfortable being that size. I looked in the mirror, and I remember Abraham Hicks just ignore it, just be into, Don't look at the scale. Oh my God, that was such a mistake. I know it sounds stupid, but for somebody who really, really believes in the law of attraction, was really, really hoping that that would be true. And then I watched High Carb Hannah, and then I saw that she went through the same thing, and she still believes, from what I remember her saying, that somebody could really make themselves believe that they could be thin and eat anything. But I remember I had linked Leslie Hastings before, and I believe she was a person that was able to do it, although, you know, I haven't seen any new material from her in a while. But, you know, I and High Carb Hannah, and I've seen some other people that they fell for that too, and they ballooned up. And, you know, I think that's just like, now I did a video on, you know, how I view meat and eating meat. I don't eat meat no more. But, you know, it's just like the effects of like a cigarette or, you know, alcohol. There are some people that can live to be old and it doesn't affect them. I believe that your beliefs have to be so strong, and you have to really like ignore the rest of what society says about alcohol and about drinking and about foods if you're really strong to do that. But I was never able to do that with food. And no matter how much I visualized it, and then you have the fear of ballooning up even more and getting even heavier, and then it's harder to get thin the bigger you get. Now I'm a healthy size. According to my BMI, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I want to be a little bit smaller, like 15 pounds. So 15, 20 pounds. I'm working on that. But I would not recommend using LOA for weight loss. I would say you have to, you know, watch your calories, have that calorie deficit, do your exercise. And also like the feeling of meat now in my body. I know some people are going to be irritated about that, but it does not feel good. And it, like I said, if as a kid, would we run up to a cow and just hack them with an axe? No, most likely not. You know, that's not natural. It's not a natural thing to do. And I think I covered pretty much everything. Yeah. All right, that's it for now. So, yeah, toodles. Thanks for watching.